I'm rich, Apu! Rich! God. Money in the bank.
Bank. I got a bank to run.
Go to your bank and hand them a $100 bill. You probably think that cash stays inside a giant underground concrete vault.
You're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here.
You think it just sits there, waiting until you want it back. But because of an old law from 1848,
you are wrong.
100% completely wrong.
The exact second that paper note leaves your hand, it isn't yours anymore.
Wait, what?
Legally, the bank owns your cash. They can do whatever they want with it. In return, the bank just types a number onto a computer screen. That number is basically a digital IOU. You no longer own any real money in that account. You just own a promise from the bank that it will pay you back. The entire global banking system is a massive illusion. It is a machine designed to run with empty pockets, and it only works if we all play along with the game. If just 10% of people try to get their money today,
that'll close my account.
The entire system breaks down in a single afternoon. I am the Watchman. Case number 08 is officially open. How did the world build an empire on a trick hidden behind marble pillars? This trick started 400 years ago with the goldsmiths of London. Rich people had lots of heavy gold coins. They wanted a safe place to hide their wealth from thieves. The goldsmiths put the gold in strong boxes and handed out paper receipts. The receipts were just notes saying the gold was safe. Soon, people noticed something very interesting. Nobody ever came back to get their actual gold coins. It was much easier to just pass the paper notes around to buy things. The paper notes became the new money. That was the exact moment the trap was built. The goldsmiths realized they could get away with a massive lie. They started printing extra paper notes for people who wanted to borrow money. They charged real interest on paper notes that were completely fake. Suddenly there were way more paper notes than real gold coins.
Yeah, that sounds like a scam.
This is how banks started making money out of thin air. Modern banks still do this exact same thing today. They do not wait for real cash before they give out a loan. When you buy a house, they just type numbers into a computer. They create new money out of nothing in a split second.
It's like magic.
In 1694, the government made this trick official by starting the Bank of England. The bank printed paper notes to buy up the government's massive debts. Debt became the actual fuel for all paper currency. To stop the system from crashing, leaders passed a strict law in 1844. It split the bank into two separate rooms. One room handled the gold, and the other handled the daily payments. But this rigid plan had a terrifying mistake built into it. When people panicked, the system froze like ice. It ran completely out of cash because it could not move fast enough. And the first giant crack was about to tear the machine apart. To see why the machine breaks, we need to look at a bank's paperwork. Normal companies need cash to survive, but banks, they hate holding cash. Your phone might show you your account has money in it, but that's actually little more than a marketing trick.
Oh, boy, free money! What?
In reality, when you hand your hard-earned cash over to a bank, it immediately stops being yours. Before the ink's even dry, the bank is buying up assets. They take your cash and lock it away for 30 years in home loans. They buy slow government bonds to make predictable profits over time. This huge time gap makes the system highly unstable. Your deposits can be pulled out on your phone in a single second, but the bank's investments are trapped in a slow time capsule. If interest rates jump up fast, the value of those slow bonds crashes. The bank loses its money instantly behind closed doors. To hide the damage, banking rules allow a massive trick. They let banks pretend the losses do not exist on their public records. The bank reports the broken investments at their old, perfect price. To regular inspectors, the bank looks totally safe and solid, but in the real world, their emergency safety net is completely gone. This creates a terrifying loop. A bank's investments are slow, heavy, and very hard to sell. Its promises to you are instant and fast. You cannot sell thousands of slow home loans in 5 minutes. Trying to dump them during a panic means taking massive losses. losses. The very act of selling their assets destroys the bank's worth. If everyone asks for their cash together, the math fails. The machine cannot turn slow loans into fast cash. And today, a new digital tool has removed the final safety buffer. For a long time, a bank run was limited by human legs. The rule of a panic is very basic. If people trust the bank, they stay completely calm. They take out money only when they need to buy groceries. But if people think the bank is running out of cash, everything breaks.
You're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here.
Since the bank holds very little money, you have to run first to win. In the old days, this panic was slowed down by the real world. People had to walk to a physical brick building. They had to stand in long lines on a physical street corner. Tellers had to manually count and hand over physical paper bills. These physical delays acted as natural safety brakes for the system. They gave the bank managers days to borrow emergency cash from friends. The internet completely destroyed that safety break. Today, social media apps send panic around the world in seconds. They make millions of people look at the same scary news at once. Once everyone panics together, phone apps allow instant withdrawals. People drain the bank while sitting on their couches watching TV. This turns the slow lines of the past into an absolute tidal wave. Entire cash vaults are completely emptied out in a few hours. It is an invisible digital drain. The bank's main funds vanish before anyone even walks through the front door. And in 2023, this phone panic triggered the fastest collapse in history. On March 8th, 2023, Silicon Valley Bank was running a dangerous gamble. During the tech boom, their customer deposits jumped to $198 billion. Management took this fast cash and bought slow, long-term bonds. These bonds paid a tiny interest rate of just 1.78% interest. They were locked away in a time capsule for over 5 years. When the government raised interest rates, the value of those bonds crashed. By winter, the bank was sitting on $15 billion in hidden losses. That damage wiped out their entire emergency safety fund. Most of their money was not covered by government insurance. This made their big corporate customers terrified of any bad news. To pay back normal withdrawals, the bank had to sell off their bonds early. That forced sale made them take a real loss of $1.8 billion. The second they announced the loss, the news exploded on Twitter. Investment bosses told all their companies to pull their money out instantly. In just an 8-hour window on March 9th, people hit the withdraw button. They siphoned a staggering $42 billion out of the bank. That single flood pulled out a quarter of the bank's total money. The digital wires were clogged because the systems could not move that fast. Another $100 billion of withdrawals was lined up for the next morning. The bank ran completely out of funds to clear the payments. Before the workers could even get their bonus checks, the government shut it down. The engine had run completely out of fuel. Your bank money is trapped inside an invisible digital numbers game. At any moment, a sudden interest rate spike or internet panic can freeze your cash, leaving your hard-earned wealth wide open to the flaws of the banking grid. Relying on a bank to protect your future is a dangerous illusion, which is why I am tracking a direct way to build your own safety net with Shopify. Shopify is a global business engine designed to put you in total control. It removes all the hard technical steps of starting your own independent business. The platform features fast payment tools, simple store setup, and easy checkouts. You do not need a computer degree or coding skills to build a storefront. You can sell your own products or digital files without relying on fragile banks. So scroll down, click the link below. The massive crash of 2023 forced a terrifying government confession. Central banks had to step in and print unlimited money to save the system. They changed the rules of the game to prevent a total global blackout. This rescue mission highlights the ultimate lie of modern tracking. In March 2020, the government dropped the reserve rule to exactly 0%. Banks are no longer legally required to hold any physical cash to give loans. The link between paper dollar bills and digital numbers is completely broken. The entire system runs on pure psychological agreement. It is just a matching grid of shifting numbers on government computers. It works perfectly until the public remembers the law from 1848. You do not own a single dollar inside your bank account. You just own a digital promise that relies on everyone staying calm. The machine stays upright because of habit, not real-world security. It is a beautifully built mathematical hope. And it works flawlessly, right up until the exact second it doesn't. Case number 08 is officially closed. Human arrogance is a bottomless pit. I'm heading out. Next time, we look at an era when space forces unraveled the global communication grid in 1859. I am the watchman. Stay in the light. Now, someone get me a coffee. This atmosphere is depressing.